Looks like we are live. Got Project CBR 2005 Honda CBR600RR. Looks like the bike has possibly seen better days. Got her battery in. Has 31,704 miles on the odometer. So, assuming that's the original odometer, 31,000 miles is pretty high for a sport bike, especially if it hasn't been maintained. So, started going through it. We're doing like a diagnostics crash inspection. Looks like the bike took a pretty hard hit on the right hand side. We can see the clutch cover there has some damage. I don't see anything really jumping out at me too much, but I might end up taking off this cover and possibly the starter motor. For sure, the swing arm is going to have to be replaced. They probably don't make the swing arm anymore, and it's probably super expensive. So we'll have to find a used one if everything else checks out. So got the test battery in from the Gixxer Banshee. Try and crank this thing over. And that's all that's going on. I hear like a clicking. I need to see if I got 12 volts going down to my starter motor there. So now's going to be a good time. It's kind of tight to get in there. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can turn on the headlamp. But that little, yeah, that's it right there. That rubber boot right there underneath the hose. You can kind of see it. That is the top of the starter motor. And basically what I'll do is I like to see if 12 volts is getting there. I can do like a voltage drop test to see like, if there's a voltage drop from the battery to one end of the starter relay. And then obviously from, you'll be checking like ground to one end of the starter lead, that'll give you a voltage. And you kind of just do the math, whatever your open voltage is on the battery minus whatever you're getting. And then you can also check at the starter motor to see what a voltage drop you're getting. And that'll kind of tell you if there's like excessive resistance in that circuit. And also tell you if the starter relay is actually functioning and contacts are working and sending a signal or electricity down to the starter motor. So probably be the first thing I want to do. Let's see here. So before I get too crazy, let's see. Got people already talking in the chat. What's going on? Yamaha, where are you from? From Southern California. No, this is a 2005 Honda CBR600RR. Kind of see what's going on, right? Yeah, 2005 Honda CBR600RR. So pretty much the issue, I don't know if you guys already kind of saw. Bike just, kind of, I'm Korean, Honda love. Yes, sir. Yeah, no, these are like kind of one of the best, these generations, the mid to later 2000s generation, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki. It's all good stuff. Let's see what we can do here. So, kind of want to see. Let's see what my voltage is. Multimeter's kind of working. Okay, got 12.3 volts open circuit. Drops to about 12, 11.9. Should probably put a tender on it. Let's see, get to this positive here. Let's see what we got. Nothing. Damn, that thing fucking clicks. Getting about 5, 6 volts, not the full 12. Am I getting 12 volts to the starter relay? That's the next question. Can I even freaking reach the top of the boot? Oh, gas tank is kind of in the way. Let's see. Do I already want to pull the gas tank off? I mean, obviously the bike's not starting, so doing like a fuel pressure test or whatever, I probably don't need the gas tank. Looks like it's going to be held in with those. So let's see. Quick way to disassemble. Oh, nice. Huh. Let's see here. So that's connected. Looks like a 17. That's the thing about these Hondas. Nothing's like quick and easy and quick disconnect. It's a little bit more work. Like I say, working on a Suzuki, Yamaha typically. All right, so before I do that, I think that's a 14 or is it a 17? Looks like more of a 17 millimeter. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that thing's tight. Pretty sure I can't disconnect it there. I mean, there's a. Oh, it looks like it's leaking too. Interesting. Unless I can back this up a little bit more. And maybe we'll loosen up that one right there. Hopefully all the fuel doesn't piss out of it. That would kind of suck. I think that's like an 8 millimeter. 6, 8. Let's find out. Got a 6 right here. No, it's definitely not a 6. Let's see, 8. Yeah, it's 8 millimeter. All right, hopefully she doesn't piss gas out. My auxiliary fuel pump that I usually use for testing took a shit on me recently. So I can't just pull the gas out like I normally would. I gotta go pick up another one. Just took a shit on me like a couple days ago. And it's pissing fuel. Is that residual or? It might just be residual. Let's disconnect this. Hopefully it doesn't start pissing. It looks like a lot's kind of coming out. Ooh. Do you have some rubber plugs I might be able to plug it up with? No, it doesn't look like it's pissing fuel. That's a good sign. Cool. All right. Drop that again momentarily. And looks like we got some 8. Well, that side's actually missing. That side of the gas tank's not even in, but there's an 8 millimeter bolt on the other side. I don't even know if that's correct. Drop this back momentarily. Oh shit, that's definitely cross-threaded. I noticed a lot of the hardware on this bike is kind of cross-threaded. Okay. So nothing here to really damage. I should have a piece of cardboard. All right, set our gas tank down on a piece of cardboard. Very nice. I think, let's see here. What are we looking at? There's the starter motor right there. Gotcha. What's this hose go to? Probably a gas tank drain. Overflow drain. So you got some sensors disconnected here. I'm not sure what this goes to. Goes to something. Looks like the thermostat body is leaking. Notice the radiator looked like it was kind of leaking too. see. Let me kind of wipe up a little bit of this dripping fuel just to prevent garage fires. All right. Bam. There we go. Sweet. I didn't make too much of a mess. Now that gives me a little bit more access to the top of the starter motor lead. Kind of remove this rubber boot. That thing is stuck on there. A little bit of WD-40. Try a hook pick. It's kind of a tight squeeze with the radiator hose right here. Maybe instead of that, there's my. These always seem to do the trick. Bam! Just like that. Okay. See what kind of voltages we're getting. Let me get my alligator clip. I think I need a new glove. Oh. Okay. Alligator clip. Connect to the ground side. Cool. Got 12.2 volts. Should have nothing. Let's go ahead and crank it over. I'm getting about 5 volts there. It's a pretty big voltage drop. What, 5? What's 5 minus 12 is 7. So about a 7 volts. Can't say if that's a whole lot. Probably shouldn't be dropping too much. Could be excessive resistance in the starter motor. If it's locking up, it'll kind of take all that amperage and dissipate it instead of spinning freely. So I'm pretty sure that's, I mean, it's cranking over. I almost feel like there might be something going on with the right-hand side of the bike with the starter clutch. The only thing is the starter clutch on this bike, it's not like a typical, most bikes will have it driving the stator side, which kind of makes it a little easier to work on. With the starter motor being on the right-hand side of the bike, that's probably going to require removing the clutch basket and the whole clutch assembly and whatever else is on that side of the bike in order to get access to it. So let's see. I mean, even if I took out the starter motor, I'm pretty sure it's going to spin over freely. I can hear it hit, the motor trying to spin over. So let me see if I can manually crank the bike over. Sometimes you can do that without having to take off the spark plugs, and I should be able to do that from this side of the right-hand side of the bike. What is that, a 17 millimeter? Let's go over to that side. Battery check. Yeah, so I checked the battery. The open volt circuit on the battery, it's like 12.2, 12.3. It's good enough for the, just to do some basic checks. And then the other test you saw me doing is basically a voltage drop test. That's checking to see, just to give you an idea of how much voltage is being lost from, say, the battery to the starting relay to the starter motor. You're really not supposed to have very much, a decent amount of drop, like maybe like a couple volts, but it seems like it's pretty excessive. So that would tell me like obviously the starter motor is locking up. Um, let's see. If I wanted to remove the starter motor, there are two 10mm bolts there. It looks like you're going to have to drain the coolant and remove the lower hose to the thermostat. Yeah, to the thermostat body, thermostat housing, it looks like. And then with those two bolts, two 10mm bolts, we could, um, not saying that the starter motor, but I mean, they sometimes go bad, but I kind of have a feeling something's locked up here. But like I said, we can go ahead and double check that. And I will do such. Let's see, I have to remount the camera. It's like I need multiple, couple of these clamps here to make transferring the camera to different angles when I'm working on the bike a little easier. Oops. All right, bam. There we go. Hey, what's going on, guys? What is this? Green Beans Adventures. Starter relay have too much resistance. I didn't check the resistance on the starter relay. I mean, usually the test that I like to do is to just see if it's functioning. Not to say that a starter relay could be, if it had excessive resistance, it would be, you know, taking up some of that voltage going to the starter motor. But I don't hear the bike cranking over at all. That leads me to believe, and talking to the customer, and just from obvious, this thing had pretty major crash damage to the right-hand side of the bike. Um, the clip-ons, the foot pegs, the case here. But this is what I want to check to see if I can manually turn the motor over on the clutch side, the right-hand side of the bike. Oh, fuck, that's tight. Let's see. So, can I get a... Oh, I can. Oh, yeah. Hopefully oil doesn't come out. Nice. Pretty ground down. Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty... Technically, you could reuse it, I guess. Maybe just replace the cap. I mean, technically, I don't even have to do that. Maybe just sand it down and fucking call it a day. Was that a 14mm? So, see if I can spin this over. Should be kind of difficult, but possible. Ooh. I can move it that way. It's locking up that way. Counterclockwise, and then it locks up again. Looks like I'm rotating the crankshaft. And then it fucking locks up. Oh, perfect. Well, this will be a fun one. Probably has engine damage, more than likely. It just fucking locks up right there. Okay, so yeah, that's not good. I don't know. Let's see. What does the chat say? Sorry, really, I have too much resist. Nope, nobody's checked in. Yeah. Well, that's not good. So we're basically, this bolt right here goes into the crankshaft, and you should be able to rotate it freely. Even with spark plugs in, there's going to be some resistance. I mean, I guess I could, we're going to have to go another step here. Probably remove the airbox and probably pull out the spark plugs and then double check again. If I can't rotate it with the spark plugs out, then for sure there's something going on there. Who knows? Maybe it's hydro locked. We don't know. So probably pull out the spark plugs and see if anything's going on. Could be something as simple as that. I've seen that before. Motor's locked up and ends up, for whatever reason, it got hydrolocked with oil, fuel, water. So let's see. Pull off this airbox. How does this airbox hold on? Looks like it's bolted on from the inside. So let's see. That's probably for the gas tank. Let's see, how's this ECU? Huh. It's missing the bracket, but it's, what is it? Did they glue it down? Possibly glue down the ECU. All right, no big deal. Let's go ahead and pull off the air box. There's supposed to be like rubber bibs that I think drape down on the sides to protect the harness and the wiring, and it looks like those are missing. Okay. Let's see, do I have to take any of these off? Might make it a little easier. Disconnect these connectors. I'll kind of give you a little bit more space to work around the bike. Why the hell they glued? The ECU's glued on. Okay, that kind of frees that up a little bit. See, that like plugs into the coils and stuff. See, relays. This right here goes to the radiator fan. This goes to the front light housing. Okay. A little bit of rust and dirt. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Should have a okay. Okay. Out of the way. Okay, that's already been removed. There's a clip here on the airbox. Kind of push that down. Okay. got going on here? Kind of almost like to take this off. How much more I'd have to unplug all those lower injectors. Let's just leave that like that for right now. Unplug the Airbox air temperature sensor. Okay, velocity stacks. What's hanging us up here? Probably some hoses. There's one hose right there. What else do we got? Ah, the ducts. That side. This clip. Okay. Air filter looks pretty bad. Probably can't see inside there, but definitely needs a new air filter. Okay. Give us a little bit of a better look at the sparkety plugs. Shoot, got this rubber bib in the way here, this foam rubber bib. Carefully try to pull this out of the way without damaging it because it's kind of old. Let's see. And looks like the spark plugs are going to be right in the middle on top of it. Move this crankcase breather or valve cover breather hose. It goes to the airbox. Let's see. And then for the pair valve, move those hoses and its clamps. Okay, pair valve, remove that. All right, give us a little bit more access to this rubber bib. All right. A little bit easier to take out this bib compared to like a Kawasaki. These things are a bitch to take out. All right, cool. So now the sparkety sparks. All right, they're kind of like in between the top of the valve cover here. The breather section of it's pretty large and doesn't give you a whole lot of access to the top of the valve. The valve cover, the spark plug holes. That kind of sucks, but should still be. Let's see, star relay 200 isn't too strong for it to be compression. I'm not sure yet. If I take out the spark plugs here, I mean, the whole thing is, if you guys were watching me a couple minutes ago, I was trying to rotate the engine over by hand. So regardless if the electrical system was working or not, and I almost want to say for the most part, even if the starter clutch was locked up, I mean, unless it like failed somehow and it's locked up in both directions, usually you can rotate the engine in one direction and it should be able to spin free without locking up, or if it would lock up really quick. When I was rotating the engine here, it like kind of gets to one section then locks up. So I don't know if there's something going on in the clutch side or something going on with the, pistons and valves. Depending on the spark plug hole size, I might be able to stick my borescope camera in there and kind of take a look down the spark plug holes into the cylinder and see if there's any signs of piston hitting valve. That would be kind of the first thing I would look for, since I can't crank the engine over. If I see anything going on with piston and valve hitting each other, then obviously motor's probably bad. If I don't see anything going on there, then it's possible it's on the clutch side, and that's what I would need to take apart, take a look. Yeah. So, gotta get access to the spark plugs here. Kind of see like there's one right here. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. Kind of need both hands to do it. But pretty straightforward. take the coil sticks off. This one seems to be the most accessible, cylinder number 4. You can easily get to it. A little bit of rust. Take a look down the spark plug hole. Oh, it's pretty freaking clean there, actually. Okay. Pull out the spark plugs, or at least this one right here. See, straight shot down the hole. Nice. And then a little 1/2 inch extension. Oh, it's like not long enough. Crap, do I gotta go from the other side? It's like you almost have to go from the radiator side. Hopefully I don't gotta pull the radiator out of the way. Oh, longer extension. See if I can get it here. No. Let's see. Guess I could go in that way. Yeah, this is gonna be a bitch. Oh, guess not. Hmm. Like oil dried on the top. Huh. Let's see. Maybe can I stick my thing down? I don't know if I can stick my. I don't think it fits down this side spark plug hole, which kind of sucks. It's like one of those Harbor Freight ones. It's not like you kind of need like a snap on. Maybe. Forget. Huh. If it hit one valve, it probably, who knows, I don't know if it would have fucked up all of them. But let's see, where's my inspection camera at? Here we go. So the one we usually use in the shop, it's a snap-on horoscope camera, and that thing is pretty badass. It's like $1,000+ camera, and $1,000 versus I don't know how much I paid for this Harbor Freight or Centec. Obviously not the same price, but kind of gets the job done in most cases. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to fit it down the hole. There's a bunch of oil, right? A bunch of oil in here. Huh. Fit down the hole. Let's see, spark plug. It looks to be either the same size. I don't have my caliper in here. That'd be funny. Kind of measure it, but I think I've ran into this before on this size spark plug. This inspection camera doesn't go down the hole. Oh, there we go. Well, that V right there, I can see the pistons, top of them. I can see the valve is open too. It's like not all the way into the hole, but enough to where I can see. I don't know what angle I'm looking at there. It's kind of hard to say, but one of the valves are open on both sides, so I mean, it's not like the valves fell in on this cylinder. Can't say I see any strike marks. Camera doesn't go all the way down the hole, so I can't check the cylinder walls. But nonetheless, still have an issue where the motor doesn't crank over. So I guess we shall continue. Removing spark plugs. Alright, 1 and 4. No, can't fit my hand through there. Number 2 is kind of tight. Number 3 with the electrical tape special for extra cylinder wall grip. Bam. Okay, coils are out. Can't necessarily check the coils. Interesting. Looks like the clamps on the lower throttle body to boots are loose. Like somebody tried taking them off. Interesting. Hope I don't have to pull the valve cover off on this thing. Might need a little bit more inspection time if we're going to start pulling off covers. But let's see if we can at least get to these, to the spark plugs. Such a crappy valve cover design. Kind of almost feel like I need my wobble extension. Wobble extension would give me a little bit more play, a little bit more wobble. Let's see, where's my impact at? Small shed, but always losing tools. Let's see, will this work? Can I go on the top? Yeah, I can do that. So, what is that? 2-3 inches and then a 1/2 inch extension. Guess whatever it takes to get the job done. There we go. Yeah, a lot of oil or something on the threads. Onto the tip of the electrode just a little bit. Alright, time to get to number 2. Bam, right there. Same thing, full of oil a little bit. That could be the valve cover. Inner O-rings are starting to leak. It's typically what happens, but I didn't really see any like oil down in the spark plug hole, so who knows? Unless it's oil coming from the inside, people do all sorts of you know, remedies. Yeah, looks like it could very well be this one right here. It's probably the inner O-rings. Okay, so that one I might have to shoot down the hole like that. Just need like a wobble. Let's go with a slightly shorter one. Nope, almost. Same thing. Tips like almost threads and stuff are kind of wet with oil. Okay, so want to say moment of truth. I have these spark plugs out. In theory, should be able to just rotate this thing by hand, and no, it just stops. Wonder what's binding up in there. Could be valve hitting piston or something's locked up in there. So I guess the next step would be to drain the engine oil. Looks like a 14 millimeter. Go ahead and drop the engine oil. Oh shit, lost the headphones. Can't warm up the bike, not a big deal. Oh, no. I think it's actually a 12 millimeter. Okay. In theory, you really don't have to drain the oil when you pull up the clutch cover. I want to say on this model, but we're going to drain it anyways just so we can check the condition, make sure no water in the motor or in the oil. So far, it looks good. It's pretty clean. Not too bad. It smells like there's a little bit of gas in the oil. Yeah, a little bit of gas in the oil. I mean, that's kind of natural if the bike's been sitting for a while, or depending if, sometimes people put additives in it or something. Okay. So I kind of want to pull off this clutch cover here and take a look at the clutch side. Yeah, I probably would have, the lower part of this clutch cover here, it actually might have leaked a little bit of oil, so pretty sure you're supposed to drain the oil. I'm sure if the service manual calls, if you're going to remove this cover here for servicing, drain the engine oil first. But that's what we went ahead and did. Oil's draining, very nice. Looks like it's going to be an 8 millimeter 8 millimeter socket all the way around. So let's see if we can find anything going on over here. That should be good on the oil. Let's see, let me actually, small work area, so gotta kind of make do as I go along. Let's put this bolt back in. That should be enough oil for now. I can drain it later, the rest later. I'll go ahead and place another oil pan on the clutch side. Just don't like making a mess. All right. And there we go, making a mess already. Oh, so much for that. Oh, let me grab a funnel. These California oil containers suck. Everything has to be California improved, and it all sucks. Trying to save the fishes, and everything just sucks. There we go. Pouring oil from my non-California approved oil container through a non-California approved oil funnel into a non-California approved oil collection container. Very nice. Just kind of let that sit like that for a while. And we'll go drop this off at the non-existent auto parts store because most of them have closed down this past month that are local to where I live here, and probably don't offer used recycled waste oil disposal. But nonetheless, we will find one because we don't believe in polluting. All right, cool. Oil pan. Let's kind of help catch some oil. 8mm. Start buzzing off these bolts. I think that's all of them. Oh, no, missed one. Did I miss any more? No, looks like it's it. Huh. Let's see if I can pry the cover off. It looks like it's been siliconed on. Pretty sure it's not supposed to be siliconed on. See if I can use a pry bar on these tabs. Bam! That was a nice healthy pop. Oh, not on that side. How about over here? So we can go over here. On this broken motor mount here. Bam! Just like that. Come back over here. Bam. These are a pulse pickup crankshaft position sensor. Kind of let that hang by the clutch cable there. Let's see. Does anything come apart? Let's see. We got a washer right there. Don't want to lose that washer. Goes right there. So that looks like the starter motor. Starter motor is right there. Yep, I can see it. I don't think I can take that gear out. So that cranks over the crankshaft off this primary gear here. Let's see, you can see the bottom end. I don't see nothing in the teeth. Clutch basket looks pretty normal. I can't see anything interfering with the starter motor. Teeth all look normal. The hell's going on? What's locked up? Something's locked up in here. What the hell's locked up? Transmission? Shouldn't be. I mean, I pushed the bike in here as in neutral. It doesn't seem right. Why is that flexing like that? Something hitting the starter motor? Transfer gear? It shouldn't be. Feels like it's locked up right now. Is something hitting? Huh. Oh. Because that's not even supposed to be making contact against it. I wonder if it's like probably not even the right fucking starter motor. Oh. I can see what's going on. Huh. No, the starter motor, I can see the end of the starter motor shaft. Doesn't look like it's bound up against the clutch basket. And I can see the transfer gear teeth meshing pretty well with the starter motor spur gear. Huh. I don't see. Oh, I see. Ooh, there we go. That doesn't look normal, I don't think. Those look like something's grinding back there on the back of the crankcase. I see some like broken pieces of metal. Am I tripping? Ah. Looks like something may have came apart back there. I see some I don't think those are casting marks. I think I see some like grinding marks, something on the backside of the clutch basket. Check the phone. What time is it? All right, let's see. What are we doing today, Mr. Wick? We are working to answer a question, Mr. Ghostwriter. And Tariq, I can't pronounce that last name. This is a 2005 Honda CBR600RR. If valve doesn't ruin it, it runs like crap or worse. Yeah, if it didn't drop a valve, I didn't check the cylinders 1 through 3, but I just checked cylinder 4, and there's no. It looks like cylinder 4 is good. Right now though, I'm working on the clutch side. And back there, I don't know if I can get it at the right angle. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. I was using my inspection camera. I don't think you can see it. But back there, there's like some grinding marks on the case, like right there in the center. Camera won't focus in. You can kind of see that little bit of shiny right there on the engine cases. I'm wondering if something came apart here. Notice how this is locking up, and it really shouldn't be. This shouldn't even be locking up. I don't think the clutch basket should even be I mean, it shouldn't even be moving right now. Yeah, how the clutch baskets, let's see. Oh no, there's a gear right there, drive gear. Primary drive gear right there. So that's what's driving the clutch basket. But I don't know why it's I don't see any nothing too crazy going on. See no pistons in the bottom, I guess. Shoot. Do I need to take off the clutch basket? It's kind of hard to say. I have a feeling though that there's some damage. Yeah, there's. What hit that though? That doesn't look normal to me. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, maybe that is normal. Oh. Is it something having to do with the clutch basket, or is the motor itself locked up? Don't really want to waste too much time taking off the clutch basket. Just kind of confused and curious. Now it's like completely locked up. There we go. What's that hitting on? Huh, looks like it's rotating now. Am I tripping?
box up again. Okay, so it's in gear right now. And it stops. It stops. Fucking transmission. And it just abruptly stops. Well, I mean, if I remove the clutch basket, I guess I'd be able to figure out very quickly at that point if it's a transmission related issue or a rotating section issue. So fuck it, we're already here. Let's go ahead and pull off the clutch assembly. Let's see what we got ourselves going on. Oops. Clutch looks okay. Looks like this thing had burning oil in it. This pressure plate looks pretty fucked. But possibly usable. Okay, so transmission. It's spinning nice and good. F2 looks like somebody's already, somebody's taken off. Has that been off before? Looks like somebody's had this nut off before. Which means, I don't know, what does that mean? No, not a 27. 32? No? 30. Nice. Okay. I wonder if my electric impact will buzz this thing off. Yeah, it's coming. Let's see. Oh, come on. That one. Got a couple of these clutch plates back in. For torquing, I have the tool, just don't really want to use that tool for holding it if you're going to use an impact. If you're going to break it off by hand, it's okay. Let's see if we can use some of these plates, though, create enough friction. Bam. Yeah, some of these already have this nut off before. Okay. Yeah, that looks normal. A little bit of burning. Okay, so it looks like there's an optical illusion, just case markings. I don't really see any damage here, actually. So I'm assuming still probably, yep, it's locked up. Ooh, that does not sound good. Motor's locked up. It's probably something with the top end. So I don't know. That's an issue. So probably something going on with the top end. I guess at this point, probably I would want to get a little bit more authorization and diagnosing time. It's probably going to need the top end to come apart, or maybe not even the top end, at least the valve cover and the valves, and see if there's any obvious signs. If not, um, I'm pretty sure if it dropped a valve, it's going to be pretty obvious. Usually when it drops the valve, the valve cotter or retainers will be popped out of place. The valve stem will usually be in the combustion chamber along with the valve head. Um, the spring and the retainers will have popped out, and usually it'll result in camshaft damage, and on top of piston damage and cylinder wall and crankshaft damage. It's very possible it broke a valve right now and is sticking up through the top. I kind of want to get a little bit more authorization just because I'm kind of starting to dig into this thing a little bit further than I would typically want to for what I'm charging. So I'm going to go ahead and just let the customer know, take a break really quick, and we will come back to it. We're going to go ahead and pull off the valve cover and check out the valves, maybe even pull out the cams, see if there's anything. What happens if a valve doesn't work good? Uh, doesn't work. If valve doesn't work, runs like crap or worse. Stay on the spark plugs and look to the top end of the piston to see if there's any witness marks. I did on cylinder number 4, and I don't see like any contact marks in the top of the cylinder face. So you can see the cutouts in the top of the piston for the valves. There's still carbon there. Usually when they kiss or make pretty bad contact, they'll leave like a nice, you'll see a shiny spot. If it was rotating, because carbon, obviously, when that happens, there's damage. Engine might have stopped running, so it won't build up carbon over that uh, damage mark where the valve hits the top of the piston. Um, yeah, got the clutch basket out, and I mean it's still locking up. I don't see anything on number 4. I mean, I don't see like there's the connecting rod right there. You can see kind of the bottom of the piston just ever so slightly. See the where the piston pin goes through the crown or the journals. Yeah, I don't know. It's still got to find out. I'm thinking there's damage. I mean, the other thing too would be to pull off the stator side here and see if something came apart on the stator. That'd kind of be the next thing to check too before maybe, obviously checking, assuming that we have valve train problems. This is kind of the last thing I can check here. I don't think it's obviously transmission, but if something came apart on the stator side, that could be a possibility. So we will come back. Thanks for watching, guys. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for commenting. If you guys got any questions, let me know. Like to answer questions. May not be the exact bike that you have that we're working on, but similar issues or questions. Typically pretty knowledgeable on most of these Japanese bikes from old to new. Trying to do this, we're about a little over an hour in. We got a lot of the bike torn apart, and I still want to get to that stator side right there. Maybe we'll find something in the stator. If we don't find anything in the stator, then more than likely, I'm thinking it's going to be something with the top end. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned, and we'll be back.